Welcome, 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 everyone. This is straight to the point. And let me just say, I'm excited that we are finally getting the air directly from our page. Yay. Well, when I got that notification today, I was like, I get the air from our page. Yay. So I'm so excited. So, but I do want to make sure everything is running correctly. But anywho, yes, I want to welcome everyone to Straight to the Point. I am your host, Toy. Hey, Dana up there. Somebody that shocked her. Dana up there in the corner in Tulsa. Glenn is down there in Oklahoma City. Glenn, what you eating on?
Man, some Zaxby's. Fine. I just had
Ah,
quick. I don't really mess with Zach. Mostly I eat local.
I
But
got you.
do the trick today.
I got you. And we got my girl down there in Houston, Giselle. Everything going okay down that way?
It's cool with the little orange man down here today. Down here today.
Lord.
Oh,
What's
oh,
his name?
oh.
Y'all get on my goddamn nerve. Every last one of them. Why he got a name? His name is Trump. I don't call
Uh,
motherfucking
Pamela
Kamala
had a
name
name
They the
too, but he
homeboy
didn't
down
want
here
to
today,
honor her
y'all.
name. So
Stir show off like that, Giselle. His name is Donald Trump. Thank you.
President Donald Trump, right?
Yeah, soon to be.
No, I
Okay.
mean he's president.
she said, okay.
Okay.
That's how you feel. Just don't be doing that. Y'all get on my nerve with that.
We ain't gonna get on your nerves today. Damn it.
I'm sorry.
We ain't gonna get on your nerves today.
Thank you.
Why the hell took you doing that?
Anywho, everybody's having a great week so far.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Good, good, good. We had hump day, hump day, hump day, hump day, and okay. Well, glad to see you all's beautiful faces. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Y'all go ahead and share and let us know y'all in the building. You can send some comments and things like that. Um, let's see. I've been on a rush all day, so I gotta catch my mind up to what I'm doing currently. So y'all gotta forgive me. But anywho, so currently, let me get Giselle back on here 1 second. Welcome, Giselle. Yay.
He didn't want me around today.
It's all right.
It's cool.
It's okay. Yeah, it's all right. Trust me, it's okay. Um, but real quick, there we go. Need to make sure I got all this together. Just want to recognize the father of good times. Oh man.
Mhm.
Even though he passed away in August, okay. Now it's these people's business when they want to post when they family members passed away. Maybe they deeply grieving. So y'all get out y'all's feelings. Y'all stop doing that to these people. Get out your feelings. Say your rest in peace and send your prayer hands and mean it. Okay, mean it when you do it. But man, that kind of broke my heart. Got me about to go watch a couple of episodes of Good Times and maybe even Coming to America.
Yeah, we lost a couple of legends. Real talk.
We really had this year has hit us kind of hard
Yep.
with the legends.
Yep. What was I don't want to mispronounce her name, but she played the lead nun in Sister Act. She also
Yeah, I just seen that a couple of days ago. I don't want to mispronounce her name either, but yes,
actor as well, and losing her. She was one of my favorite. Any movie that she was in, because she played in more like suspense drama movies. They were
yeah.
all good. You knew they were gonna be good. Because I'm a kind of geek, a nerd, low key, high key. I love Harry Potter and shit like that. So
I feel you.
that one hit me too.
Man, that hit me hard. I was like, no. Oh my God. We are losing some good celebrities this year, man. It's dead serious, dead serious. But we're sending prayers out to all of the family members at this time during this. Man, it's hard to lose anybody. I'm serious. It's hard to get through that. So just want to send up prayers. Let's see. real quick, because this topic that we're doing tonight is I gotta hear him get to it because it's gonna take up the whole hour. He
Before
birthdays.
before you do that, I also want to say our condolences to the family of Taylor, the young man who lost
Yeah,
his life
Taz,
yeah, that lost his life and limb and went to school at Millwood. I didn't know the kid,
12 years old.
yeah, personally, but I had been seeing it, and anybody losing their life is sad, but especially at such a tender age like that. So I can't imagine how his parents may
Man,
be feeling right now. That's my deepest fear. Truly, is to lose
yeah,
my kid.
absolutely. And I know the grandmother of this baby just found out that she was the grandmother yesterday. And so I know the grandmother of that baby. So, man, listen, because my son is 13 and it's like, ooh, can't imagine, but that feeling that you just feel just because you have a heart, that it just kind of it's a lot. So definitely prayers to the Taft family during this time, for real, for real, for real, for real. And as a community, I think we've done well supporting them.
Yes, yes.
Definitely have done well. And I want to commend my community here in Oklahoma City and even around the area that knows him and knows that family. Yeah. You all have definitely showed your love towards that family. So please continue that support because losing a child, listen, I
Mm.
don't even know what's worse, losing a parent or a child, but my God, today, I just already know how I would feel if I lost my son. So I can imagine what those parents are going through. So
Right.
all right, moving forward, and we got a couple minutes here. Birthdays, it's Libra season, so I want to shout out to all my Libras. If you are celebrating your birthday, Miss Dana's birthday is getting ready to come up. My girl Michelle, she just celebrated her birthday. So all my Libras that are celebrating their birthday this season, please go ahead and drop your name in there. We'd like to give you a shout out during this season. Real quick, Glenn, any events that we need to be aware of besides the normal? I know tomorrow, Friday night, will be Cooley High and I at the Old Grenadier. And I ought to be ashamed of myself because I should know the name of the new spot.
Listen, Old Grenadier is fine. That's what more people is gonna know it as anyway. Trust me.
Right.
You say
Yeah,
the new spot, they're like, "Where the hell is that at?"
right.
Old
It is
Grenadier.
the Old
I only
Grenadier.
been to the Grenadier like once. When you said that, I
You
know
should
exactly
go.
what the hell you talking about. So trust me.
But it is an outside event, so bring your chairs. Cooley High and I will be there. It is free to get in. It'll be cash bar and DJ and all that good stuff. So just listen. I need the code to come because this gnat is not just to get on my. It's the same gnat I've been dealing with for weeks. One of them can't never get his ass out of here. Um, but I do know that's going on this weekend. And then besides the Norm at ICE, is there anything else? ICE
Yeah,
and Elmer's.
they have the Lindy Lane fashion show downtown at the Capitol going on
Okay.
this weekend. If you guys want to go support that, I know some of the models that's going to be in it. Some of the stylists is going to be a beautiful show. Uh,
Nice.
so if you guys could go support that, it's October the 5th, which is this Saturday. Let's see when the show starts. I told them I was gonna make sure I mention it. You can actually buy your tickets online right now. I want to say
Okay.
but it's the Lindy Lane Fashion Show 2024.
Got you. Okay.
For
And
a
if you
fashion,
get an opportunity, Glenn, if you'll put that in the chat so the people know where to get tickets, if you can throw that in the chat for them,
will do.
and they'll know where to get their tickets. And then if there's anybody, promoters, club owners, whoever you are, if you have events going on and you'd like for us to announce it on our show, please send it to me or Glenn or even Dana or Giselle if it's in that area, because I have people in both areas, Tulsa and Houston. So if you all would like for us to definitely put this on our show just to get it out there for you, definitely send it to us either through our page here or our personal pages, whichever one is convenient for you. So, other than that, I think that's all the events I can think of as well, because I haven't really been in the loop since I've been back from New Orleans, I'm trying to catch up with life. I'm still on vacation for some reason. And some niggas at work was like, "Just you here?" No. Um, but Dana, before we move on to our topic, because I do want to jump into that real quick. What you got for us tonight, Mama?
The would you rather question. All right. Would you rather find the love of your life or find your true passion?
That's a good one, Dana.
That is a good one.
Yeah,
I'll go first.
Hold on. Your forehead. That's a good one. Here we go. Shit. Who gonna dive
What?
in first? Go.
I'll go first. I
Okay.
choose my passion.
Okay.
I choose my passion. If I find my passion
It's gonna
and
lead you to
I'm
your love.
that part.
I kind of agree with that. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think I was thinking passion first because I feel like everything will fall into place once you got your star playing line.
Right. That's how I feel.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. What you think, Giselle? Giselle's eyes are to the left, like, well, I already got that nigga over there on the couch.
Let me stop. Like who said? No, I go for my passion though.
Okay.
That way I knew that like I made it to like my fullest potential. Like I got there. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's like achieving a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like everyone else. I would definitely choose my passion, which I'm thankful that I have discovered my passion. But I say my passion because it truly grounds you and
Yeah.
it makes you feel better about everything else you have going on. Because when you wake up feeling like you have this purpose, it makes you approach the day completely different. You know,
Yeah.
it clears up that fog and it builds confidence within yourself, and that really could lead to you finding the love of your life. Because when you're confident about what you're doing, who you are, you feel good about yourself, then that opens up for you to really truly love someone like that. Because I think a lot of us, and I say a lot of us, I always include myself because I ain't perfect. We have a lot of broken relationships because we don't really know ourselves. We're not really there within ourselves, so we're still searching and trying to find. And that's all part of the process. It really is. But don't let me go on a rant because I know we got a lot to talk about.
No, you good. But you to sum it up,
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it is. All right. Well, you guys heard it. So feel free to comment in the comment section what you feel like you would do. All right. Before we jump into this topic, this is how sensitive this topic could possibly get. Okay. I want to first start by saying this talk show, this podcast is called Straight to the Point for a reason. Okay. So you cannot be in your feelings when you deal with us. Okay. So this is open opinions. Please let's not feel like anybody's judging based off of this topic. This is a sensitive topic. Okay. Anytime you talk about church or politics or things in that nature, it can get sensitive. Okay. I do want to make it clear that the this is talking about partly the LGBTQRSTUV community. Okay. So don't get offended by this topic. Okay. Please feel free to comment. Though we would love to hear you all's input on this. Now, this topic, man, the video was like 18 minutes long. Okay. So I had to try I had to try to put this through there as much as I could. But in between, I'm gonna try to tell the story so that you all will understand. It's a lot, though. I don't know which one of y'all put this in the chat, but it's full up here with this bread. But here we go.
Baby, come on.
Here we go. All right, here's the first video. I think I did this right. Ooh, I think I did this right. Hold on one second. Let me see. I'm going to play this one
Is
first.
devastated after one of their workers is killed, and police say the suspect is her husband.
You can get it. Dwight Lewis, I'm talking to you. I swear to God, Nick, I'll have my nephew bring me to your motherfucking house, and I'll beat that's because you know you don't want these
When the wife of a church elder was discovered to be gay, he panicked and murdered her to cover up his secret. But the lover of the elder has finally spoken out about the affair, and what they had to say was shocking. This was a tragic and shocking tale that left the entire community rocked. Indeed, it was something horrifyingly extraordinary, especially for the usually quiet suburb of Kansas City. But in order to fully understand what had happened and why the lover of the church elder had spoken out, we need to go back and explore what happened in the lead up to this explosive outburst. Tanisha Harris was a 38-year-old woman who I certainly had a zest for life. She was a passionate and interesting person who, among many other amazing qualities, was very devoted to her faith and to the church. She was married to a man named Robert Lee Harris Jr., who was 8 years her junior. Still, the two of them were very well suited, and they were, seemingly, the perfect couple. As they both held their faith in very high regards, they were both deeply involved in their local church. Tanisha was an associate pastor, and Robert was a church elder. When not at church, Tanisha worked at a bank, and Robert in a hospital. Much of what they earned, they donated to their church, something that both of them were happy to do. They even had daughters from their previous marriages, girls that both Tanisha and Robert accepted and loved as if they were both their own. Being a very active person on social media, Robert would share many religious posts on there, as well as going live to call on his friends, family, and followers to join him in prayers, something that he did daily.
I just want to spend just a few minutes with you in prayer concerning healing. I'm on my way to work, but I'm definitely going to pray today.
But what Tanisha didn't know was that there was so much more to her husband's life than she could have ever imagined. The day that things all changed was just like any other, and clocked out of her work at an Overland Park bank for lunch at 11:44 a.m. on January 8th, 2018, just like she had countless times before. But what was unusual about this particular day was that she never came back. She went home, at which point, countless times before. But what was unusual about this particular day was that she never came back. She went home, at which point it seemed as if she and Robert got into some kind of argument. The apartment manager was so concerned, they called the police to report the argument that was still ongoing. The police arrived on the scene quickly and made their way up to Tanisha and Robert's apartment. When they arrived there, they found that Robert was home alone, and there was no sign of any argument going on. Without a basis to continue searching the property or to question Robert, they soon left and went about their duties. But only a few hours later, the authorities received another call, this time from Robert himself, saying that Tanisha had gone missing and that he was extremely worried about her. Once again, the police were quick to respond. People didn't just go missing, let alone fine and upstanding people in the community. It was immediately obvious that this was out of the ordinary and needed investigating. However, when police came to speak to Robert about Tanisha's disappearance, they noticed several things in the apartment that they had previously missed. Things that told a pretty grim and violent story. Also, Robert was acting somewhat suspicious and evasive. This told the experienced cops that he seemed to know more than he was willing to let on. But what was it? And what were the answers? These two questions led police on a wild ride in search of Tanisha and the truth.
All right. So I got you that much so that you all could just kind of get a gist of the story of what's going on and what took place. And so Let's see. Sasha said this story is crazy and scary. Honey, you don't know the half of it, darling. But stick around so we can talk about it. So that is the beginning. I have also 2 more clips that I'm going to get into here shortly. But let me start by saying, I'm going to go ahead and get straight to the point. Is this what church has become? Is this what we going to church for now? Listen, I've seen people go to church and find marriage. I have. I've seen them go to church and find, but we going to find the little boys now while we already married? Is that what did we forget the purpose of why we going to church? Did we forget the purpose of what the church is for? This is sickening, to be honest. It's sickening. And it just kind of takes me back to I'm tired of seeing people play with God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I really, really am. Like, and the part of it is half of us as human beings won't even let somebody else play with us. So why do we feel like it's okay to play with God?
Because he's forgiving.
Child, he need not to be, shoot. But I guess somebody got to do it. But it's still not cool. It's not okay, because if God decided not to do what he does for you on a daily basis, which is keep you alive, keep you on the job, keep you well and living, if he just up and decide not to do that for you one day, then what? You salty? Ready to cuss the Lord out?
They've been allowing so much slack in the church, and then
So
been
much.
allowing so much stuff to be okay in the church when it's not. Then you have situations like this and worse, because you allow all this stuff. You let it. You got gay bishops now.
Yeah,
Who? What? How did that happen? How is something that God called an abomination
an
leading
abomination.
a flock?
Mhm.
How, it's because of everything that people is accepting in religion.
Yeah, I
You
agree
don't
with
like
you.
what the Bible said, you go create your own religion.
And that's why it's so many denominations,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
because no one wants to believe in that one Bible, wants to believe,
Mhm.
And so I've always felt like that. I've always felt like people take out the Bible what they want to live by, and then the rest is like, oh, well,
Absolutely. No
we'll
way,
put
shape,
that to the
form, or
side. And
fashion.
then if they,
I'm not living straight. Do I know the way? Absolutely. Inside and out. I
I'm
know it
100% with you.
inside and out. But do I do the right thing? No, I don't. But do I play on God? Hell to the no. I don't play with it.
Yeah, I don't play with him.
I don't. I know what he can do. I know he loves me and everything. He hates the sin that I do, but I'm not gonna sit here and play, use my gift that he gave me and play in church and knowing I'm about to go fire up a blunt soon as church is out. I'm not about to do that. I mean, it's just real. I ain't about
Yeah.
to do that. I'm just not. I love the Lord, and anybody can minister. If it's a situation where it calls me to minister to somebody in a situation I've been through and I can talk to somebody and help them, I'm gonna do that. But am
Yeah.
I saved? If I was to die right now, I bust hell wide open.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm kind
That's
of with
just,
you on that one.
I mean,
Busted it.
it's just real. But I know the way, and I don't play with it, and it pisses me off when other people play with it or try to find a loophole or something
Yeah.
where they
Yeah.
can get by. That shit irritates me to the 10th power. Because why? Just
Yeah.
go to hell with a smile on your face. The fuck you what are you doing? I mean, just go to hell. Really. Just go to hell. Shit. That's where the hell you going any damn way. Why the fuck are you playing? Why are you limiting the things that you could be doing? Because you're
Yeah.
already on your way to hell. Just do it. Just do
Just do
it.
it. That's
Hell
what
with
I'm
playing with it.
saying. You might as well, but okay, to each
This
their
is
own,
why
to
the
each
church
their
is
own.
messed up. Huh? What you say?
I was saying to each their own, how they feel about it. But so real quick, okay, hold on. Glenn, Giselle, do one of y'all got anything to say before I actually hop back on the topic of this video?
No, I'll wait till we get on the topic so I don't.
Yeah, I can wait too, because a nigga's been trying to pimp God for a long time. But go ahead, I'll wait.
You is crazy.
I
What?
mean, you know,
But you're right though. You're right. You are so right. It's the way you
This
put
ain't
it.
this ain't nothing new. Yeah,
Right. You're
but
right. Ain't nothing new.
nothing.
So back on the topic though. So for those of you all that are just joining in, this video that I just played is about an elder who has been a part of a church. At some point in time, he began a relationship outside of his marriage that he was married to his wife. He began a relationship with another man in the process while being in church as an elder. All right, who want to start first?
I'll say this. A lot of people find themselves in a lot of compromising positions because they refuse to live in their truth. You could play a game of cloak and shadows all you want to, but the truth will be at your house ready to greet you at your door every time you come home at night. When you cut those lights off and you're laying in your bed and it's just you and your thoughts, the truth will find its way to you. And you can
Mhm.
deny the truth because there's simply no substitute for it. And people put themselves in these type of positions when they're not living out their truth. If you have what's the word I'm looking for? A desire to be with a man, or you're gay. You just want to be with a man. Don't hide behind a religion. Don't hide behind a false marriage. Don't hide behind any of those things. Just simply live in your truth, because people are going to judge you regardless, whether you're straight, whether you're gay. And as it pertains to religion, I have a different take on religion. I do have I feel like a strong relationship with God, and I have my own relationship with Him, which is why I moved far away from organized religion because of things like this, because how corrupt it could be when the church is led by us, and
Mhm.
we want to pick and choose how we utilize the Bible. We want to pick and choose certain scriptures to support a certain point, and we skew the view and say it in such a way that it supports our narrative rather than the narrative that the Lord has put forth Himself.
yes.
So I decided to kind of remove myself from church.
Mhm.
And like most of us as African Americans, we were raised in the church, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know too many of my friends who weren't raised in the church. All of us, it was mandatory, you know. But as I grew older, I got my own relationship because I could see the mess, the drama, the craziness, the madness, dealing with the church. And the church is
Yeah.
supposed to be this safe place, but it's a lot of places it's everything but, and it's become so commercial now that it's kind of sickening. You know what I mean? While I do believe it's a higher power, I just believe a little different, you know. So I wouldn't call myself a Christian or anything like that. Um, but this situation is terribly sad because you were so afraid to face your truth that you took someone's life in the process. And guess
Yeah.
what? That truth is still there. It's
Yeah.
no matter what you kill off, no matter what you try to do, it's still there, and you can't
Mhm.
fight it. Think about it. Look at P Diddy. Look at some of these other folks. You can do all of this stuff behind closed doors, but the truth
Mhm.
is going to come out. It just is. Now I ain't gonna get on P Diddy too hard because it's a lot of bullshit behind that. He's a freaky crazy ass man, but he ain't near about the only one that's doing this type of shit. And there's more
No.
people that is extremely powerful. And what happened with him was he pissed off some powerful people, and they
Yeah.
let us yank the rug out from under your feet because we the one put that bitch there in the first place. But back
Yeah.
to what I was saying about this religion stuff, and it's not just with the church. It's just in general when people refuse to live their truth. How many times have we seen situations like this where someone ends up dead because someone is too embarrassed to own
Yeah.
face and live in their own shit? It's sickening and it's scary. You know, this is why I instill in my kids, be exactly who you are, and
Mhm.
and learn to accept yourself, Because if you don't, you're gonna seek that exception from other folks, and you're never gonna get it. And you're gonna start to live this life of untruth, and you're gonna look back on your life, and you're gonna be completely unhappy with it. You know what I mean? But let me stick to this church shit, because I see it so much. So many people hide behind the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Hide behind this type of shit, and I see it's an astronomical amount of gay people in the church who put on the facade that they're not gay, but we all know.
You see it
I know some
naturally.
personally that I know. I'm like, bro, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't on a whole different level, and I know. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where everybody know. You the only person that's in denial right now. You know, so just I just think in this world we live in, we should just live our truth. Now I say that with a grain of salt as well, because you can live in your truth and people can judge you so much, but I just feel like, why not? Because they're gonna judge you anyway. You know what I mean? But don't let me, I don't want to hog up this space. Anybody else something to say on before I continue to get my spiel?
But you said some good shit though. You said some good shit. I mean, overall, it's just all living in your truth. I mean, had he just been honest with his wife and just been like, you know what? Listen, it ain't working over here. I want to try to green the grass on the other side, see if it's greener. But instead, he decided to kill her.
Well, he didn't want to lose his quote unquote status. But
Well,
like,
yeah. And that's part of it.
Like, what the fuck
Yeah.
does it mean? How you get put in a position as an elder at the church? Not this Negro 37 or 38. You ain't no fucking elder. Elders in the church I attended, if you were an elder, you were a fucking elder.
Elder, exactly.
You was in there and you were battle tested. You done been in that church for a minute. Not no 37.
Here you go. You a deacon until you get to that age.
Yeah, you're a church member, okay, that's been attending this church for quite some time.
Yeah.
Goddamn elder. That's why I said elder, and I said elder.
Right.
At 30 something? When did they start doing that? But even then, though, we see this type of shit.
Just commercialized churches.
Thank you. And it's a little different. I can't tell anyone how to worship or do anything. I highly encourage everyone to read the Bible for themselves. If that's the religion that you're into, or just gain your
do that.
And you know, but for me, I don't care what you worship. Even if you worship the devil, at the end of the day, if your outlook is I want to give love, spread love, receive love, then fine. You can worship the fucking tree in front of your house. I don't care. But people get in these churches and use that for leverage and power. And you see it all the time with these priests and these preachers touching on these little kids and people giving them the benefit of the doubt because they're supposed to be men and women of the cloth. Like, we have to cut that bullshit. They could be men and women of the cloth or following some religion, but they're still man. They're still human. They're still can fall to the ways of humankind. So they don't get a fucking pass. They don't get a special treatment. They just like us. It's just you choose to dive further into your religion, or you choose to live it out a certain type of way. But we got to stop giving these motherfuckers passes. We got to stop letting these people get away with all this type of shit. That question.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Like your daddy.
I like your point, Glenn, because I'm going to say this and I'm going to give it over to Giselle, because the Bible does kind of mention that, you know, you're going to be those that call themselves, technically, God is supposed to be calling you, technically, but folks are just being called in a night dream. Okay. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But if you are called by God, the people that you are leading, the people that you stand before, that you're teaching them, you're preaching to them, you're singing to them, you whatever you are to these people, you are now held accountable on Judgment Day, because what comes out your mouth to these people, you're gonna be held accountable. That's why you got to be careful when you step into that. When you step into those shoes, because that's a big shoe to fill. I used to watch my daddy, and my daddy used to be like, now my daddy used to be gangster. even
It's
as a
true.
preacher. As I didn't seen him pull up a couple of times with the pistol in the trunk, okay? at the little state meetings and stuff, okay? But my dad, at some point after growing, he had to realize that I gotta watch what I do and what I say and how I interact, because I'm gonna be held accountable for what I do and how I do it in front of others and how I'm leading these people. I'm going to be held accountable. So I feel like they're not taking that into heed. It's like, come on, man, like that's important. You're going to lead yourself with them. The hell, you know. But anyways, that's another subject. Giselle,
Ma'am,
didn't you post this?
I did.
Come on.
Come on, six
I
six.
did.
Come on and talk to us.
Come on, big six.
I did.
Let's go.
But I don't know. I just feel like there's just so much to all of this, you know. Like
It's a lot.
everybody else, I was raised in church, you know. I'm not a PK kid, but I'm a PK grandkid. You
I'm a
know,
PK kid.
I know. You know, I was raised Kojic, the whole shebang, right?
Me too.
And I know I used the analogy earlier about pimping God. And when I say that, to say that people always want to utilize him for their own personal benefit, status quo, things like that, but they don't ever want to take full accountability for what it means to actually to be a child of God. Okay. And like I've seen it. I've seen men hide behind marriages all my life. I've seen them date girls out in public and be with the other folks later on, you know, in the wee hours of the night, or should I say the morning, whichever. But as to what Glenn said, I'm just like, live, live in your truth. And the other
Yeah.
part is stop playing with God, right?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like that's dangerous territory. That is dangerous territory to be
It is.
playing with God like that. And but that lets me know that those who say that they are for him are truly not for him and really do not have a full understanding of who the fuck he is. Because you don't play like that.
You
You don't.
don't.
You don't play like that. And I also know, like, sure, if I take title away, right? Take title away for a moment. This is a man who clearly is not perfect. Neither are we.
You're right.
But looking at him in a leadership status, no different than a parent being a leader or your boss being a leader, you lead by example. And if you
Oh,
cannot, you lead by
yes.
example. And if you cannot, it's not do as I say and not as I do. You understand what I'm saying? So if that's not if that's not the standard that you could uphold at this moment, that's completely fine. You go do you. But don't utilize the church to hide behind in order to do your dirt.
Come on, missionary. Let me get you your license. Where's the nearest
You stupid.
McDonald's? Get you your
I'm just
license.
like, don't do that. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. So I have a
Just
question.
don't do that. And what you have to kill, like, they ain't even have to kill the girl. They ain't have to kill the girl. They ain't even have to kill the girl. Well, look at you kill her.
I have a question though. Can you be gay and love the Lord? Like, let's say
Yes.
you was raised in the church. You was raised
Yes.
in a church and you truly love the Lord, but you're fighting this demon or
It's a
whatever.
demon. It's a demon. But yes,
Pretty
you
much.
can,
Or whatever.
because you're still human.
So should you
See, there is no sin that is greater than the other one, right? So if you can still lie and love the Lord, I'm just saying. If you
You
can
can still
still lie and
kill
love
and
the
love the
Lord,
Lord.
if you can
You
cheat
can
on
still
somebody
go
and love the
boost
Lord,
and love
if
the. I
you
mean, all that.
you can not neglect your kids and still love the Lord. Can you be gay and love the Lord? Sure, you can be
yeah,
gay and love the Lord, but
Doesn't mean he gonna accept
you
you,
still
but yeah,
got
you
some
can.
exactly, but you still got some wrongs
love
that you
you. I
need
don't
to
have to know
right.
all my friends that just been gay. God love you, but he hate the sin. But
Yes.
like for the ones that want to go to church, the ones that want to go to church, should they not continue going to church to get that purged up out of them?
They should go to church because at the
Well,
same time, well, here, this is my take, my thoughts. Now, the Bible does say to come as you are, right? One,
Exactly.
you come into the church. When you come in, you're not clean when you come in, allegedly.
Right.
When you are under proper and divine leadership, right? So let's say you're not clean, as best they say, you're still dirty
Yeah.
when you come
Yeah.
in, right?
mhm.
I believe that someone can love, they can love you. They are supposed to accept you from where you are, love you. Like you don't come into the church saved. So
No.
everybody's
No.
got their own demons that they dealing
Right.
with. So why would
Yeah.
you why push somebody out of the church just because they walked in with their boyfriend? Or they walked in and they like, hey, okay, but I'm gay. Okay, fine, you gay, but you still welcome in the house.
In Bishop Church, you be on that altar every day that you
Every
walk in
Sunday.
that church because you won't be gay very long. But yes, that's how it's supposed to be. That's
Yeah, it's
exactly
how
what
it's
that scripture.
supposed to
See,
be.
people think that that scripture "come as you are" means your clothes. No, darling.
No,
No.
It does not mean your clothes, darling. It means anything that's going on with you, who you are, demons that you're fighting. That's what that means. Come as you are. Like if you gaslighting, if you shacking, if you know how the deacons and all them used to put it out there, you know. But if you're doing those type of things that are not of the church, and this is the thing, people want to try to separate it.
because people forget that they weren't always saved. And that's the problem.
Exactly.
People
But
forget that they
see,
were
the
Right.
not
thing
always
is,
saved. And you have to draw people in love. So you can't be nasty. You cannot be
that part.
nasty to somebody and
Right.
expect them to be receptive to anything that you're saying. It's no different
Right.
when somebody comes to you with an attitude, but they want you to receive what you're saying. Who the hell you talking to? It's no different.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's
I
no
agree with
different.
you on that.
That's why a lot of people are quote unquote with what's the term? Church hurt.
Yeah.
Because for
But it's
some
no such
reason,
thing as a church hurt. Let me
no,
explain this to you.
no.
Because like this one preacher, I heard this one preacher say, he's like, everybody want to come talk about church hurt. He was like, well, what about that nigga hurt that you set up and laid up with for years? What about that nigga hurt? You still laying there. What about that job hurt that you went through? We always want to talk about it. Ain't no such thing as a church hurt. You might have went through something, but it's still just another testimony from something that you went through, whether it's an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, an ex-job, your mama, your daddy, your greasy head granny. It's still a hurt that you've gone through in your life. So folks can't continue to specify church as a church hurt. Get over it. Pray about it. Ask the Lord to release your heart from anything that you went through your church hurt, along with all the other hurts that you've gone through. Sorry, I had
Somebody
to put that
offended
out
you
there.
that was at
Associate
church.
church hurt because of that's where it happened.
Right, but still,
And
things
people
happen
that's
everywhere else
connected
too.
to church, that's like where it happened. Like church people hurt me, so they associate that with the church. But it's
But I
no
think
different
it's
than
stupid.
I
somebody
mean,
else hurting.
think about it to go on what Giselle is saying too. When you go to this space that's supposed to be this space of acceptance and healing and understanding, and a place that's supposed to
And you get
get
the
you closer to the creator and the God, the
right,
Lord, and all that
right.
stuff. And you go there to this place, traumatized, hurt, and you get re-traumatized, rejudged, outcasted, all of this
In the
type of
church.
stuff. Yes, it's absolutely a such thing as church hurt. It's no different than working in a hospital. I worked in mental health for quite some time. I double major. I got a biology and chemistry degree, and then a master's in health administration. Right. So mental health literally called me, like y'all was saying. I didn't wake up. I want to work in mental health. That shit called me, and I went to work there. And some people came into these establishments seeking help, who were just exhausted. All resource was just completely lost, and they like, I just need this help. And they come to this place that's supposed to be a place of healing and help and joy, and they get re-ostracized, re-traumatized, re-talked about, re-outcast, and all this stuff by people who just there to collect a check, who not taking their job serious, who not taking their training serious, or other clients there, and you got this system that's broken, that's really designed to get money and not necessarily help people. You just housing people with their problems, so they get re-hurt and re-traumatized there, so they're less likely to reach out and seek that help. That's why some of these people get to the point of suicide. We talk about the same stuff with the church, and people claim, oh, you go to this church, the church gonna help you. Seek the Lord gonna help you with all these problems, when these people done this to you. It's supposed to be the house of the Lord. Now you can chop it up and say, oh, well, these just people. But what happens when you go to multiple different churches and they feel this same way because you're quote unquote gay? You know, I think that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? If you're a church and you're of the Lord, then like you said, Toy, you're supposed to accept people as they are. You're supposed to take people like that. And that's what I mean by people using certain excerpts of the Bible to do it their own way. Because I've heard somebody say, oh, the Bible say come as you are, but it don't say come like this. Yes, it does. It says
Yeah,
come
they
as
do.
you are. Ain't no flipping that.
Right.
Ain't no trying to shine that. Ain't no trying to do that a different way. So it is a such thing as church hurt. But what you saying, but I get what you saying too, Toy, because if you can work through this other hurt here, then you can let these people know. I would suggest to just try a different church house, try a different church family, because some of those people have this disdain for you, and that shit is personal. That ain't coming from the church. That's
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
so then you move around, you find what place of worship you want to watch. But truthfully, you don't have to be in a church house to worship the Lord.
Right.
You can worship him every single day. You know what I mean? That's why with some of these newer age churches is kind of geared towards that, so people don't feel such a way. But that's just why I just don't live.
I got you, and I feel you on that. Real quick, Sasha said, I wholeheartedly believe they should go to church. I have the same battles, but how am I going to overcome my demons by turning away?
Mm-hmm.
I agree
You
with
can
that
go to
part.
church and it could just overtake the stuff, wash you white as snow. Like if you get enough church in you, won't it purge out the
Well, I figured, when you come as you are,
I mean,
I thought at some point, that you're supposed to go through the deliverance phase.
right.
And going through the deliverance phase, at some point, you're supposed to come out of
How
whatever
long
it
do you
is. Like
stay there
homeboy
though?
said, I don't,
That's
I
my
don't,
question.
I don't, I don't mess with men's no more. We all remember that video? I don't
Yeah,
mess
I
with
know, but he
men's no
still
more.
do.
He still
And
do
he
though.
still do. But my point is this. When you're getting delivered, okay, it shouldn't take a lifetime
That's what I'm
to be getting
asking.
delivered.
How long? How
It
long
shouldn't
should
take a
you be
lifetime.
delivered?
If you're sincere about wanting to give yourself over to God, then work on it.
You're supposed to
Work on
die
it. And that
daily.
means, and it don't only mean work on it just when you go to church. You got to work on it outside of church. You got to work on it. You got to be that example even when you at home or at work or whatever the case may be. But it's you that got to work on it. Like you said, Dana, you don't want to be that type of person that you still smoke weed, blunts, whatever. And you just don't want to be that person that every Sunday you get home from church, you got a blunt ready to go, knowing. Let me just say this, because I had to cut this because I wanted to say this before it comes off my mind. Almost everything you deal with in life has a rule or it has a law to it. I don't know why we can't do what we need to do for the church. The church has laws and rules as well. So my thing is, my daddy used to say, do what you're grown enough to do.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the church, just respect what the church is asking. Just like your job. When you go to work, you got to respect what they ask you to do, right? They want you to be on time. They want you to count your money down, whatever. The Bible states that being gay is an abomination. And if you don't know what abomination is, ask Google. She'll give you the full definition because I asked her 2 years ago. It is an abomination to be gay. Okay. Again, let me say this. Do what you've grown enough to do. And you can go to church and be gay. Yes, you can. You can go to church and love God. But at what point Since you know that it's an abomination to be gay in the church, are you going to allow yourself to get delivered? You can't continue to use that as an excuse. And it's not only being gay, it's sleeping outside of marriage, it's having children outside of marriage. See, people don't look at all that kind of stuff, not realizing these are the church rule. This is Bible. Like, this is what is set up for Bible. So again, it has nothing to, because everybody wants to try to surround everything around love. God is
He's
going to be an
love.
angry man when it's all said and done.
God is love, though, correct?
He is love. But when it comes to that day that he say, depart from me, ain't gonna be no love behind that. And that's the part that folks are not wanting to look at. Go read Revelations.
Listen, this is what it
Baby,
says in Revelations. You're gonna be in hell burning. You're gonna be
go read Revelations. It's not a game. Everything is not about love when it comes to God. He got an angry side. We might not see it, and actually we do kind of see it in some of these storms that we deal with. Y'all know that because he, it got, but at the end of the day, you got read Revelations. There is an angry side that we will see when it's all said and done, when he says, depart from me. That won't be a day of love, because he wants to know who rolled for him and who didn't. And if you didn't ride for him, there you go. There's your exit over there, because you ain't coming this way, player. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that every sin won't be welcome, because none of us are perfect. But we are supposed to strive. If you're going to be in that field of being in the church, trying to lead and live by the Bible and things like that, you can't pick and choose what you want to do. When it comes to the Bible is its own law by itself. And how dare us try to disrespect it because we want to, I love God. God is my man. That's my homie. But then yet still you don't want to live by what his law says. It don't make sense.
He said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments.
You will keep my commandments. So it's like,
and it also says that you die daily. So
this goes all the way back to my point. This is why people kill people. This is why people do these things and hide from their truth, because of this type of judgment. Because people feel that when they get to quoting the Bible and doing all this type of stuff, you condemning other folks. Now, that don't give them the right to kill or do anything like that, but we don't have the right to condemn anyone. We don't have the right. All you can do is live your life according to the Bible, if that's what you believe in. And you live
but not when somebody's a leader, though. When somebody is a leader, they're a pastor, they're a preacher, they have to preach that Bible. And it's not no such thing as you live your life. No, when there's a leader involved, and this is the part of the problem with this story that we're in. This is an elder.
Self-appointed, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Self-appointed, you're right.
Yeah, I will. And I was speaking in a general sense. I wasn't speaking about this particular class, because I'm completely with you right there. If you call yourself a man of the cloth or a woman of the cloth, then you must abide by the laws that set forth in the religion that you're within.
And that's what I'm speaking of.
I completely agree with you on that. Like, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna preach this stuff, you're gonna do this stuff, then you should abide by it. But also, you should be very transparent and clear that you too fall short. You're not perfect. You don't have the answers, and you're trying just like the next person is trying. So when you see somebody falling short and type of stuff like that, instead of passing judgment, you should help them out. And sometimes helping them out is just reassuring them and telling them that to keep the faith and their faith. But what happens in the church today, people don't do that. It's people falling short, people talk about them. People going through these issues, they get gossiped about. It gossip inside of the church, outside the church. Church has become political. Hell, church is just as political as this fucking presidential debate that we're watching.
But it's because this new church is not our grandparents.
Man,
we're losing them. I can only speak for where I grew up at. I can't speak for nobody else. But in the denomination that I grew up in, the elderly were the ones that knew how to help. They knew how to go and help without judging you or talking about you. Now they'll
Yeah.
keep it 100 with you. Now, baby, listen, that skirt is a little short, baby. You
No,
need to
that's
make
too
sure
low.
next week. And now, baby, you need some stockings on your legs next week, baby. When I see, they knew, but they did know how to help
I,
compared to this new generation of people. Half of them ain't even saved. So how they gonna help somebody else?
I say this about the elderly, and this is not everyone's experience, but this is just from my observation, and even my observation with doing research myself. So I did research for quite some time. The elderly were good at keeping secrets. They were good at keeping quiet. They were good at keep this us, keep
Yeah.
hush. And some of those very secrets pass down so much family trauma and bullshit. That's the reason why people are in these positions that they are in today. Your elders would
You
go
ain't
pray about it,
never
not go sit
lied.
down, not go get help, not why are you feeling this way? Let's talk about it. Let's work through it. They just tell you go pray about this shit. Then you got people that think that this prayer is just gonna work. Now we always hear prayer without work it's not gonna work. It's just dead. But they keep telling you all this prayer and don't tell you how to put this work in to get through some of this stuff. And this is not all cases.
Yeah,
But
because I was about to say at my church it was different. They had classes for you and all of that.
even I've seen it, even in these classes and shit like this, so many secrets were kept to keep the peace. But later on, those very secrets and what's caused so much drama and trauma and all of this shit
comes out 43 years later and
That
fucks
is
up the
true.
whole family.
That
Now,
is true.
what I can say about the elderly, though, that we lack a lot in these days, is the loyalty, and is the togetherness, because they could be going through some shit, they could rock some shit, but they gonna do a unified front. Now, behind these closed doors, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna, as a church family, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna
Right.
out, but in front of everybody else, we're gonna be this unified front. Nowadays, some stuff go left. You get people jumping ship left and right, telling all the business and blah 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 blah. So I definitely can say that about our elders. But I know in my personal experience dealing with some elders in the church, and I was raised by my grandma, and I went to a old ass church. The church was old, man. It was mud. So I got to see that old school religion. And we did have some men in the church that really had me looking like, damn, this type of stuff that made me want to step away from the church. When I talk about people positioning the Bible to support their point of views, because you have these men, no woman's supposed to lead a church. It says right here in this Bible that this and this and that and that and the third. And I'm like, damn, the Bible was constructed a long time ago.
Right.
And we taking it at his word, but the Bible has been rewritten, has been different versions.
I don't go by that version. I go by the first version.
Yeah, by the first version. But who wrote the first version? A man. The guy himself wrote that Bible.
It was a bunch of them though. All of them has an author.
And
Every chapter has an author.
And the reason why I say this is not to say, oh, all that stuff is false or fake, because I don't know that. What I'm saying is, whoever's in charge, just like now, whatever they wanted to go in that book is what's going to go, because it's books of the Bible that's been taken out. And I've read the whole Bible. And
I have too. That's why I said I don't deal with no other Bible but the very first one.
So it's whoever's in charge, just like they banning books now and saying this can't exist, they will eradicate and erase that shit from history. So
the Mandela effect.
If King whoever was in charge and he said, I don't want this part in the Bible, he could have X'd that stuff out. So I feel like the Bible is definitely something great to guide your life with. It is some beautiful scriptures in there that can really help you if you apply them to your life. But we have to be careful about how some people will these things, because people can try to use religion to manipulate you. Use religion to manipulate you to do some things that you would think will be of God, but it's just them manipulating the words, and it can happen. I feel like I'm getting off topic, but
no, because that's true. That's why the Bible says that you need to study yourself to be Yeah, and so if you
Study to know
study the word
thyself
for
approved.
yourself, then when
Yeah.
somebody else come for you about the Bible, then you should know how to attack them back. That's why I don't get in discussions with people because I come scripture, straight scripture, and that's why I didn't want to go that route on here because I'm gonna bring scripture on everything. So at the end of the day, I do feel where you're coming from, though, Glenn. And in this, I just feel like the old school church versus the new school church is totally different. I don't like the new school church. And you heard it directly from my mouth. I don't care for none of y'all. At the end of the day, though, have your own relationship with God however you choose to. But if you're gonna be in the game, again, like I said earlier, it's about respecting what the church asks for and how the church runs, just like anything else in the world. We got to respect these laws in these streets. We got to respect the laws and rules at your job or at your school. Wherever you go, there's always something there that has to be ran accordingly. And so if you're going to be a part of it, I just say do it right. Like just do what you're supposed to do or don't do it at all. That's where I'm at with it. Who else? We got a second.
The reason why that's the reason why I don't go to church right now, because I'm actively in sin. And I know if I go to church Sunday and continue going, I mean, I'm actively in sin. And I don't plan on stopping right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to go to church and play with the Lord, So I'm
Respectfully.
Hey, and I respect you for that, Daniel.
Respectfully.
But
Praise the Lord.
I know
I know the words. Listen,
I know the
that's
word.
one thing I know.
Okay.
That's
I don't
one thing
know.
I know.
I wish the church structure was just different altogether. I feel
Altogether.
like these self-appointed elders and bishops and ministers, because when you're not ordained by when you are truly not ordained by God, the leadership is incorrect anyway. And because there's no structure, and for example, like everybody don't need to be at the pulpit praying for everybody. Everybody doesn't need to be on the what is it, the when somebody want to join church, what's it called? I'm having a brain fart
Oh
right now.
yeah. Yeah, they don't
But
need to be
anyway,
there.
everybody doesn't need to be on that. Like, I feel like there needs to be training, even in that. Like, you need to know how to deal with people, how to communicate with people. Like, there needs to be tact in certain things. And I think that people are so big to look for a title that they lose track of what the mission is really all about. And that's the other reason why things are the way that they are. Like, church should be everything that we said that it should be, but it is not.
It's
But
complete
Glenn,
opposite.
it's the complete opposite. It's the complete opposite. But I do agree with Glenn 1,000,000,000% when he said about the old church versus the new church. They knew how to keep their mouth shut. That's what that was. Right now, these day and age, everybody want to tell everybody business, everybody gossiping and everything else. So everybody's business is in the streets, and it's real
It's
messy.
real tacky. It's like
It's
churches
real
become
tacky, and
tacky.
it's tacky, and it's real messy. But back in the day, because I ain't no spring chicken. Back in
Period.
the day, like I learned about a whole lot of stuff. I
Yeah.
can't even say what I really want to say because I'm being aired out somebody's business,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. The
Yeah.
pastor got kids over here and kids over here. The mother of the child the baby mama is sitting here. She on the usher board. We got the first lady, and the first lady then got pregnant by the other bishop down the street, but we raising him as our kid because we not saying nothing. It goes down like that, and then it passes down, like you said, the lineage, generation and generation, and you have no clue, and then it all unravels 10, 20, 30, 40 years later, and you like,
43
what
years later.
in
Yeah.
the world?
Mhm. Yeah.
So it happened. It has happened. It done happened. I've
It's
seen
still
it.
happening.
It's still happening. Sure.
Just 10 times worse.
But at the end of the day, the only thing I can go back and say is that church is supposed to be here.
Exactly.
Church is here. Then you just have the building where people go to fellowship to meet on one accord.
Yeah.
So work out your own soul salvation with yourself. And if you can find a group of people to worship with, so be it. But if you can't,
So
make
big.
it how you gotta make it. That's all I can say.
Mhm.
Yep, be like my girl Dana.
I
It's
agree.
on your own at home. Shit.
Mhm.
Bedside Baptist, baby.
Every Sunday.
Yeah. You know, I appreciate you for doing this topic. I'm always skittish to kind of talk about religion because I have strong beliefs in certain ways, and of course, usually when I have this conversation, people leave mad and all this stuff because I like to be real, and I don't ever get offended because we believe how we believe, and I think
Right.
that makes the world a beautiful place. All these
That's
different
what makes the world go round.
different stuff. It makes the world a good place because we see
Mhm.
so we could get a lot of different things out of stuff. So uh, hopefully I don't ever offend y'all when I speak strongly on my opinion because I don't ever take stuff that you guys say too personal. But I always respect everything that you all say because I respect
He
it.
said too personal.
No, I just said personal in general. I don't be taking stuff personal because I don't feel like it's this is a shot at you, Glenn. It's just no, you speaking your
Oh
opinion.
no.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
secure enough in myself to not let that be like, hold on, bitch, fuck you, hold on. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I ain't gotta do all of it. I can have conversations. It's just like
Absolutely.
telling my significant other the other day, and this ain't putting our business out, but we were having a disagreement, and I told her that when we have arguments, I stop. I'm not one to argue. I step away.
Mhm.
Let me gather myself. Let you gather yourself, and then we can
Mhm.
come back and have a conversation. So the other day
Absolutely.
we were having a conversation and we were talking, and she stopped talking and she was like, "Well, I know you don't like to argue." So I said, "Well, this is not an argument; it's a conversation." So maybe we can both teach each other the difference because you were stating your point, I was stating mine. I wasn't in disagreement. So I was trying to understand why it was that you felt that way. So I could be
Mhm.
more either sympathetic or empathetic, even if I don't necessarily see it the same way. If I can understand why you see it that way, then I can address you better or handle you better. Because who knows, just like we talk about with religion and our different experiences, I may feel a certain way about the church because of what I've been through. You may feel
Mhm.
a different way because of what you've been through. Now, that don't make our perspectives wrong. It's just our perspectives is tailored by our experiences, and we had different experiences. So now, let me talk to you to see why you feel this way about the church, and then I can hear why you feel that way about the church, and then we both
Mhm.
understand and be more, be more cautious when we're either talking about it or going to a church because we know each other's experiences. And that's the same way we should approach relationships and stuff, because even in some stuff just ain't important to me, like birthdays, different stuff like that. Because when I was growing up, I wasn't big on celebrating birthdays and shit like that. Because I was
Mhm.
one of many that my grandmother was raising. So, birthdays, we did what we could, but it wasn't that big of a damn deal. So to me, I'm like, that's just a birthday. But to somebody else, they may have never got to celebrate a birthday in any way or any fashion. So celebrating a birthday now is a big deal. So
Mhm.
now that I know that, let me try to make sure I make you feel special on your birthday. And then every other day like that too. But I want to set aside your birthday to make it be what you want it to be, or at least put some
Mhm.
thought into it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I be forgetting shit. You know what I'm saying? I be forgetting I'm terrible with birthdays. I
Me
remember
too.
my kids' birthdays because that was some traumatic shit, seeing another human being coming out of another human being. That was some traumatic shit. So I'll never forget that day. Literally. I used to watch those videos like, why these niggas passing out? Oh, I see why these niggas passing out. It's like some alien shit in there. My shit got light. The doctor had to catch me. He like, oh, hold on, sir. I said, hold on to me. But yeah, great topic today. I love it.
Well, I'm glad y'all did. I thought it was even though we've had a hard time staying on this topic because see, I ain't even played the other two videos.
Man.
So we definitely had a hard time kind of staying on the topic. But overall, I think we understand that this was just a whole bad idea. I have to agree with Glenn. It's just all about living in your truth. And had he just kept it 100 with himself first, but I feel so sorry for her that she had to lose her life behind someone that just wanted some dick in his booty.
Oh my God.
God dang. Well, there's
I don't know no other way to put it. Y'all say,
Yeah, that wasn't no joint. That was a blunt.
God.
It's just when I seen this whole video, I'm telling you, it was like 17 and a half minutes long. And me and my coworker, our mouth was just open the whole time, like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I wanted to show y'all the lover.
Show him, please.
Can I show y'all the lover real quick before we get out of there? I want to just show y'all the lover because he is just wild. Let me see if I got him on. Okay, hold on.
Also talked about how everybody knew that Robert would sleep with anyone and everyone possible, and that he was bisexual. No one questioned it though, as Robert was too well loved and charismatic, and the community loved him too much. In fact, Stephen even went as far as exclaiming that even Tanisha knew what Robert got up to, and she was okay with it.
Everybody knew what Robert was doing because so much shit had came out before she married him. She already knew what this doing. All this, I just want somebody to pull up on me.
But there was one more huge twist, a claim that Stephen would make that turned this whole murder case on its head. He claimed that Tanisha was not murdered by Robert because she discovered and disapproved of his relationship with Stephen. If what Stephen said was true, she already knew about it and was okay with it. Apparently, she was murdered so Robert could get his hands on her money, something that she was not short of.
And kill her because his motherfucking quality. He killed her for money. So why you mother listen to somebody who done posted one mother?
If this was true, this just added an entirely new motive to the murder, one which the authorities had never even considered. Still, Stephen continued speaking out and ranting about the situation, claiming that no one had the right to be mad at him as he exposed no one else's sordid relationships with Robert, instead taking the blame himself in order to get justice for Tanisha.
Everybody who was fucking Robert in that church ought to thank me, bitch, because I didn't put nobody else's name out there. Nobody. I took the motherfucking bitch because I don't lie about my sexuality. So everybody in that motherfucking church that was Robert ought to thank me.
May the Lord watch
Did he say
between me and me.
While we're absent.
was fucking Robert? Man.
Hey. Good night, Glenn. I understand. The fuck? She knew.
What the? Come on, man.
She knew.
I just said if you be hiding behind these marriages
Jesus.
to cover to be up on
I'm
that
sorry,
field.
y'all. We got so deep into this discussion on another level that I didn't get a chance. This video is deep, dead serious. It's deep, like the whole situation. And he's not only apparently, I guess, messing with the dude, he's messing with others. So he's bisexual. May the Lord watch. I got somewhere to go before 10. This is crazy. Anywho, I want to thank you all for tuning in with us on tonight. Straight to the point. Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. We got my dude Glenn up there, Giselle, Dana. Thank y'all for sitting. Glenn's still sitting up there like this is some bullshit.
Listen.
Ooh, it's deep. I'm serious. But we're going to get off of here and get out of here. Once again, thank you all for tuning in with us. You guys are welcome to replay back and see what's going on. Feel free to give your 2 cents as well. We greatly appreciate it. But other than that, God bless each and every one of y'all. I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Y'all have a blessed week and a blessed weekend. Bye.